In Brunei Darussalam, the following official program of activities are being prepared by the host government for the state visit of a president. Upon arrival at the Brunei International Airport, the president is welcomed by the representative of His Majesty's government, the minister in attendance, the chief of protocol of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, the military aide-de-camp, and the liaison officers. The representative of His Majesty's government will accompany the President to Istana Nurul Iman, the official residence of His Majesty, for the official welcoming ceremony. Upon arrival at the Istana Nurul Iman, the President will be welcomed by His Majesty, and they will immediately proceed to the royal dais to receive the royal salute, signaling the start of the military honors. A 21 royal gun salute is fired. After the arrival honors, the President is introduced to the members of the royal family by His Majesty. And after the introduction, the Grand Chamberlain will introduce the President to the senior members of the Brunei government, like the Speaker of the Legislative Council, the Cabinet Ministers, the members of the Privy Council, the Deputy Ministers, the Commander of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, and the Commissioner of the Royal Brunei Police. After that introduction, the Chief of Protocol of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade will introduce the President to the heads of foreign missions, as well as to the permanent secretaries from the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. The official members of the delegation are introduced to His Majesty by the Chief of the Presidential Protocol. In the evening, there will be a state banquet to be hosted by His Majesty. And prior to the dinner proper, His Majesty and the President will deliver a speech. For the departure at the Brunei International Airport, except for the representative of His Majesty's government, all the other members of the group during the arrival will send off the President. Well, the Philippines-Brunei bilateral relations can be described as fraternal, excellent, and historically close. Political, economic, military, and socio-cultural ties have continued to expand in recent years. During his audience with His Majesty, Secretary Darussalam mentioned the forthcoming state visit of President Aquino to Brunei Darussalam as an opportunity to strengthen bilateral relations with Brunei. He discussed, among others, the opening of the new chancery of the Philippine Embassy in Brunei Darussalam, which symbolizes the long-term commitment of our country to strengthening and fostering relations with Brunei. Secretary Darussalam also mentioned about the completion of the Grand Mosque in Cotabato City, which signifies the close relations between the two countries. Secretary Darussalam also mentioned about Brunei's support for the peace process and development in southern Philippines. Well, for one, Brunei provided peace monitors for the international monitoring team for the observance of peace talks between the Philippine government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Brunei contingent is tasked to monitor the implementation of the interim agreement on security, rehabilitation, and development with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. The members of the Brunei contingent are indulged in some community outreach programs, such as the distribution of copies of the Holy Quran and assistance in some civic works, thus endearing them to the local Muslim populations in the area. The International Monitoring Team contingent of Brunei started with 10 members back in 2004. And just last year, it was increased into 15, making them as the second largest contingent next to Malaysia, which has 18. Another, of course, is the completion of the Grand Mosque in Cotabato City, which is an enduring legacy of Brunei's commitment to fostering cultural understanding between our two peoples. The other one is Brunei's government, through the University of Brunei Darussalam, allotted 40 slots for our madrasa teachers and school administrators. This is a 3-year scholarship program, but unfortunately only 29 were able to finish the program. The purpose of this is to expose our madrasa teachers and school administrators on how Islamic instruction is being carried out in Brunei, and to, of course, eventually formulate their own curriculum.
So aside from the peace process, one of the most vibrant aspects of cooperation of the Philippines and Brunei is assistance in agriculture. So what are the assistance given by Brunei and the Philippines?
Well, right after the state visit of His Majesty to the Philippines back in January 2009, and the subsequent assessment of our scientists from the Philippine Rice Research Institute on the state of rice production in Brunei, we have sent about 26 of our scientists, rice scientists, and 24 technical people to Brunei Darussalam as our assistants for rice research and development. But the focus of our assistance to Brunei Darussalam is on human resource development in order to boost rice productivity in Brunei Darussalam by using the facilities in the Philippines as well as in Brunei Darussalam. In fact, rice farmers and agricultural workers from Brunei have attended training, capacity enhancement, and field visits at the Philippine Rice Research Institute in Nueva Ecija. In Brunei, the rice farmers benefited from the hands-on training through the farmers' field schools and the transfer of know-how through the Philippines paddy check system. All these initiatives are geared towards improving the production of rice in Brunei Darussalam, as well as to increase the level of consciousness of the people on the importance of food security. In his letter to the former Agriculture Secretary Arthur Yap, dated October 2009, Pihin Yaya, the Minister of Industry and Primary Resources, recognized the crucial role played by the Philippines in Brunei's nationwide rice planting as one of the strategies in improving the rice production.
So there are lots of Filipinos living and working here in Brunei. How many Filipinos are here, sir, and what are their conditions as of now?
Well, right now there are about almost 19,000 overseas Filipino workers and their dependents living in Brunei Darussalam. Out of this number, 18% are professionals. When I say professionals, they are teachers, architects, engineers, managers, nurses, while 30% are skilled workers. These are the electricians, the plumbers, the heavy equipment operators, and the masons. Yeah. While 29% are semi-skilled workers, and these are, I'm referring to the sewers, the cashiers, the sales assistants, while 17% belong to what we call the household workers, and these are the domestic helpers, the family drivers, and gardeners, and only 1% are unskilled workers, and these are poultry and farm workers. And they are being taken care of. Their condition, their working condition is generally satisfactory, and they're being valued for their skills, dependability, work ethic, and loyalty. And they work in all sectors of Brunei practically, in both public and private. Yes, as I've said, we have a very strong relationship with Brunei, and this would further strengthen our relationship by way of the 4 MOUs, the 4 memorandum of agreements to be signed in the field of shipping and ports, tourism, sports, and agriculture. Vice President, this shows the very strong relationship between the Philippines and Brunei.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Kaya naman, sir. Kaya, sir eh.